This is wild Denmark, and it's the next big place to visit in Europe. Yummy food, unbelievable nature with history woven into it, Viking burial grounds.
I've never seen anything like this before.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, but a taste of what you'll see in North Jutland. I went in with the idea that it would be just like any other Scandinavian destination, but I was wrong.
I am on the most wild adventure.
It changed my perspective for the better, and it should be on your radar. A train from Aalborg brought me to Skagen, and the first thing on the agenda was food. Skagen has a great culinary scene, and I needed fuel for what was to come.
Will you make fun of me if I tell you that I didn't know that Carlsberg was from Denmark?
Get your money, man. Life goes on. Hopeful. Yes, I am hopeful for today.
And it tastes better when you're in Denmark. I'm super lucky with the weather, knock on wood. And I think we will still be able to see some of the wild north. If something else goes weird, not a big deal.
3 hours earlier. It was not easy for me to get to Skagen. Generally, it should be easy as it's a 2-hour train ride from Aalborg station. But hey, I'm Natasha Bergen, self-proclaimed travel expert, going to the highest peak in every European country, and I thought, why not take a little spontaneous detour to one of the main attractions here.
Welcome to wild Denmark. I have zero idea where I really am and where I'm really going.
Speaking of spontaneous, why not join the Adventure Travel Crew and subscribe if you haven't already.
Originally, I wanted to go to the lighthouse, a lighthouse that might be buried one day, but it's actually not possible to reach it via public transit on the weekend. So I had to quickly make a decision on what I was going to do next. I saw there was a train waiting and I got on it. So the idea is to go back, if the train passes here, I hope it does, back to the original station that I was at. Well, actually not even the original, but the last station I was at. Switch to a train that goes towards Skagen. This is what happens when I don't plan. I just put things on a map and was like, yeah, it'll work out.
I made the most of it and saw this little town in about 30 seconds. And then all I had to do was wait for the next train on this special green Sunday.
I'll tell you a little bit about Green Sunday and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I wanted to discover a little bit more of Denmark. And as soon as I saw that this is considered wild Denmark, I got really excited. I like wild things. I like unexpected, spontaneous things. Hence, me alone in Vidstrup. Once a month, they have something called Green Sunday here in North Jutland. And you could travel all over North Jutland for, it turned out to be like €3.50, which is super affordable. The only caveat is that public transit on the weekends is a little bit less frequent. I think it's a really great initiative. It gives people the opportunity to explore and discover places in their own country, or if you're visiting. Here it comes, my ride. Literally the only person I got on. As soon as I got off the train here in Skagen, I took this one shot. This old man, he stopped me. He basically told me his life story. He worked for a Romanian king while he was living in London. And he just spent the day here busking just because he enjoys playing his violin. And that one day he hopes to go to Greenland. I don't know what it is. People just tell me things. I've heard a lot of people say that people here in Scandinavia are cold. I think that's wrong. I think it's more they don't like the chit chat, the small talk, the bullshit, essentially. Oh, it's here. Yay!
Skagen is the northernmost point of Denmark and started as a fishing village. Surprise? No, probably not. It then turned into an artist's haven and now has 2 million tourists every year who love hiking and beaches, like you and me.
The epitome of Denmark. Just missing like a little bike right here.
When you think of Denmark, you probably don't think of sand dunes and beaches like this, right? Well, that's exactly why it's worth the visit. I saw that the trails in this area had a lot to offer, with World War II bunkers, lighthouses, and seals. Not Navy seals, but seals with flippers. The crazy thing is that this is just one tiny part of North Jutland. In other parts, you've got Thai National Park, places to surf, and even wilder places. But if I've learned anything, it's that it's better to keep things easy and focus on one area and enjoy it to the maximum. And I was totally at peace here. And then suddenly stepping back into a not so distant past. These German World War II bunkers gave me chills because of what they stand for.
Creepy.
They were lost for a time because of the sand, but the ocean's waves eventually led us to find them again. Other than the bunkers, I also didn't expect to find such incredible light and colors. I saw the lighthouse in the area, and for some reason, I'm obsessed with them. Anyways, the farther north I walked, the windier it got. It was insane but beautiful, and these few hours taught me that you don't have to do it all. You can always come back to a place.
We made it to the northernmost point of Denmark. There are no seals today, but the light is incredible. Oh, I love this. And I'm so glad the day took the turn that it did, because I probably wouldn't have come all the way out here. 100% worth it. My favorite part of Denmark so far, I think.
Part of North Jutland's magic lies in its roots, and what I was keen to see was a Viking burial ground.
I've never seen anything like this before. So there are some graves where the body was buried, kind of in the mound, and there's others where the body was cremated. And that's how it's kind of developed over time.
Lindholm Høy was a site that was hidden for hundreds of years by, yes, you guessed it, sand.
Only in the 1900s did all of the sand get swept away. And in the 1950s, they started excavating the graves. And that's how we've learned so much about them. It's not just about how they were buried or the things that they would put in the grave with them. It gives us kind of an insight into what the Viking culture was like. I really love learning about these ancient people. In the grand scheme of things, that's not even that long ago. Just their way of living is so different from what we see in other people, other cultures. I think maybe that's why I find it intriguing.
Sometimes we travel to see a place, and sometimes we get to experience it. And that's what Wild Denmark gave me. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. See you in the comments. In case you're curious, our next step in this peak project journey will bring us to Scotland, where things take an interesting turn and you can expect great adventures, my friends. Subscribe to not miss a beat. See you soon, and even sooner if you join Patreon. Bye, friends.
Castle! It just reopened. It was closed because of the